Thank you for having us. That's Klaus Mueller, head of open source from the city of Munich.
And this is Strohmenger from the director of the Consul Democracy Foundation, and they are consulting and maintaining the software Consul. So, Simon, can you tell me what is Consul actually?
Of course, Consul Democracy is software, open source software for citizen participation. We were founded in 2015 in Madrid, and let's have a short look at our demo version, maybe. We have 5 tools for citizen participation. That's debates, proposals, voting, citizen legislation, a lot of maps, of course, as you can see on the screens, and participatory budgeting. That's one of our most used tools. That means the municipality gives the city amount of money. In Madrid, for example, it was 100 million per year, and the citizens can decide how to spend that. But let's have a look maybe at our history. Because, as I told you, we were found in Madrid in 2015, and from that time, it spread a lot over the world, because Madrid spent a lot of resources into Consul. But then there was a government change in 2019, and the government was not so progressive anymore, and they decided not to spend Spanish taxes, Madrid taxes, for international projects. So they still use Consul, but there was a need for another lead organization. So we found in that times the Consul Democracy Foundation. Consul is now used almost all over the world. So we have 200 municipalities, more than 200 municipalities using Consul. In Spain, of course, because there we started, then in South America because of the language, in Scotland, in East Europe, in Germany. And in Germany we have now around about 40 municipalities, and one of them is Munich.
So thank you very much, Simon. As you mentioned before, we have this Unser München. This is German for our Munich. This is the city of Munich's Consul instance. This is operated not by me, this is operated by our E and Open Government department. But technically, we had all the time and technically implementation partner. And this is Demokratie Today. You can see them all the linked here on the webpage. And as you can see here, they also love democracy, and we are quite happy because they are specialized in providing services for Consul, and we are even so happy that we now started, really yesterday, using a cloud version of Consul. So currently we used an on-prem, but now we switched to a cloud version. Additionally, we are procuring here a plain IT service from Demokratie Today, but additionally, we are sponsoring the Consul Democracy Foundation as an ambassador sponsor. So we can say we pay twice for Consul, and we're using the cloud. So I could imagine that will be raise some question marks, but I will come to this later. First, a little bit about the history of Unser München from Simon.
Yeah, let's first talk a little bit about the political factors, why Munich implemented Consul democracy. Because there was first, several years ago, a proposal in the city town hall in Munich, I think it was from the Greens, I'm not sure anymore, about having this kind of platform in Munich. They already had some. Not an open source one, not a central one, but they used several digital platforms for different smaller projects. And then, before I started as a director for the Consul Democracy Foundation, I worked for a German organization called More Democracy, and they are very well known here in Germany as one of the big organizations for direct democracy, for citizen participation. And I'm from Munich. And with them in my bag and with my contacts into the city hall, it was more or less easy to get some interviews with different political groups inside the town hall. So I presented them Consul as one of the possibilities. And then, yeah, some interviews, some presentations inside the political groups, also in the whole town hall with the mayor. And then, yeah, you can find the I think it was the decision then here at the Munich, what is it? München-transparent.de. So it's everything.
It's linked here.
It's linked here. It's linked here. And then after some time, they decided to implement Consul. So that is always not only a decision because of the best software which is out there. It's also a lot of political work you have to do, lobby work, let's say like that. So, and therefore it's important for us, and we will talk about that a little bit later, to have regional partners in every part of the world who can do that work for us. And also for the municipality, I think that's important, because these partners, like Mehr Demokratie, it's not only making lobby work for a platform, it's also to teach them how to design participation processes. Because the success factors of a very successful open source citizen participation platform is not only the quality of the software. There are much more soft success factors like political will, trust, and stuff like that. So, but I think we want to talk now about
the cloud thingy.
The cloud.
So, thank you, Simon, for the history for Unser München. So, we have a very long way, a very long experience, and the current experience is that we are moving to the cloud. I often hear about two myths about open source software. First of all, it must not cost anything, and the second thing is you must have it on-prem. In this case, it's different because we pay twice and we are on the cloud. So, let me explain a little bit. Of course, the city of Munich is using cloud services because, you know, all this is candy, come to us, it's easier, it's cheaper, we are specialized, yada yada. And so we even have a cloud-first strategy. As you can read, cloud services are preferable procured. To be honest, I'm very critical about cloud services because with cloud services, you're increasing your vendor dependency. That's the most problem with all this cloud thing. It's as easy, but you end in chains. And it's even not only my opinion. The German Federal Office for Information Security, in Germany abbreviated with BSI, they are stating if you're going to cloud, you need an exit. You need a possibility to exit very fast. Fast as in, it must be possible an immediate transfer to a private or another cloud. And to be honest, in my opinion, this is not possible with proprietary software. But on the other hand, with free and open software, it is very easy, because when you have to move away with some proprietary software from a cloud service, when you have to move away from a proprietary cloud service, you always have to change the whole software. You have to train your users, you have to implement all interfaces. It's always a big fuss, and you're always bound to the existing cloud service, and you are willing to pay high prices. But on the other hand, if you have to move away from a free software-based cloud service, it's very, very easy, because you can take your software with you. And it's even better, because you not only can take the software with you, mostly the software is already at your target where you want to migrate in. So I think cloud is a very cool thing, but only with free and open source software, because you have a perfect access strategy. And to come back to Unser München, so why I'm very okay with this, to say, okay, Unser München is a cloud service, because I'm sure if something happens and Demokratie today wins the lottery or is bought by Elon Musk or something else, it's very easy for us to just say, okay, we just need a new console provider, and then we switch. And it is one week of work, and then we will be on another thing. And of course, our users will recognize nothing, because we did this yesterday night. We switched from our on-prem private cloud to a public cloud, and we can switch every month if you want. If we want to do this with a proprietary software, it possibly won't work, because you always are forced to change the whole software. So that's why I'm quite fine with cloud services, with free cloud services. And of course, we do a little bit to be sure that we're using software who is capable of a good cloud exit. We also sponsoring the Consul Democracy Foundation for maintaining the core and maintaining the FOSS backstage of this software. So, Simon, can you tell me, what are you actually doing with the money, with the public money we are giving to you?
Okay, first of all, this sponsorship is very important for us, because we are a non-profit organization. The code is free of cost on GitHub. Everyone can download it. So we don't make money with that. For our financial sustainability, that's very important to get more and more sponsors for that. So what are we doing with the money? Party, of course. 3 weeks ago, we were on Canary Islands. That was the joke. No, it wasn't a joke. And we had there our Consul conference, the first since 7 years. The last one was really, it was in Madrid. So that was the first one since Madrid stepped out. And that's very, very important for the community. So we have two things we really focused on as the Consul Democracy Foundation. One is the community, and the other one is the code. And we did not spend the Munich money for the ConsulCon in Canary Islands, because in Canary Islands, all of the islands, they use Consul for their citizen participation. So they financed us to come there and to have the conference there. But we still need, of course, this money, very importantly. We have in the whole Consul ecosystem, it's not only us, of course not. And it's also not only the 200 municipalities. We try to organize for them meetups, conferences, and so on. But we need for sure regional partners, as Mehr Demokratie, as I talked before about the work with Munich, because they know much more the political culture in the different areas we worked in the different regions. And if you can remember the map we showed before, there are some regions with a lot of Consul installations. For example, Germany with Mehr Demokratie, so there's one of our regional partners. The other one in Scotland, we have COSLA, one of our regional partners. We have almost all the municipalities there use Consul for citizen participation, for participatory budgeting. Then we have Code for Romania as one of the partners. So we have several implementations in Romania. Same for Slovenia, in Spain, in Mexico. So these regional partners are very, very important for us, because they help to spread Consul all over the world, and they help also to help the municipalities to design participation processes, because they have the knowledge. And we could not do that for all the 200 cities. So they have a very, very important role. But it's not only the regional partners, it's also the tech partners. And maybe that's here today more interesting for you, because we have the same challenges as many open source projects, I think. Even if we are one of the biggest organizations for citizen participation, I think there's one or two like us, but there's always the question, we are very decentralized. So with the cut 2019, Madrid stepped out. It was very difficult to find the resources to develop the software then, or to maintain the code, or to work with our whole community. So there was really a break, let's say 2 or 3 years without any money. We have here Rock and Roar, for example, on the list of tech partners. They worked before also in Madrid, and they did it without any money for this 2 or 3 years because this project was so important for them. But Consul Democracy did not die in that times because it was so decentralized. So all the municipalities could still use it. They had companies, let's say some of them had a good connection to Madrid, but not all of them. And they customized it, they implemented, and they developed also part of the software, but without bringing it back, because there was no organization in the middle like we are now, who could organize that. And we have still these challenges to organize the contribution back to the main code. So it's very decentralized, but that is one of the things we really have to work on. And our partners, some of them could help us with that, and they already did. But that's one of the big challenges we have, and there are so many Consul companies out there. So we had to do a lot of cherry picking, I think, in the next years, and really check, okay, what can we bring back to really make the software still better? Yeah.
Yes, but as you can see, on this list with the tech partners, our tech partner is a tech partner for the city of Munich. You remember them, this one. It's not listed here on the page. So we are totally fine because we are happy with them, and it's still a working relationship. But we know we are able to move to another one. But it is even not demanding that you have an official tech partner from Simon, because even if you want and you have the expertise, you can run Consul completely on your own. We are happy with our tech partner, but I think for us as a Consul customer, we have the biggest possibility to choose what you want to have, and we are with every partner on the same level, and we can say, okay, make us some software, help us with the software, we pay for you, but we are not depending on a vendor login. So that's the most important thing for me, and I'm looking forward for next few years using Consul, and I'm looking forward for a really good relationship with several partners with Consul, with us Demokratie Today, and of course with Consul Democracy Foundation as the holder of the core. And yeah, so the question from us would be, what do you think about this kind of ecosystem we are currently creating or having? Or so that would be the question for you.
And maybe one more example for one of the Consul companies, because we have Steffen here in the room, and he's working for Wer denkt was. So that's also another company implementing Consul. So there is not only one, also in Germany not. So there are always several options. Any questions?
Hi. So you mentioned that the Consul community has become a bit decentralized, partially because of the split with the city of Madrid. What would be the right balance, in your opinion, in terms of centralization versus decentralization? There's another product, of course, Decidim out there. And I did a little bit of reading around this, and it seems like Decidim is a little more centralized. So in terms of you thinking about bringing the community together, what's the right balance you'd want to strike there?
That's a good but also difficult question. With Decidim, they are still with Barcelona. So there are two big projects. One is Madrid and Consul in the past, and the other one was Decidim in Barcelona. So it would be also an interesting question why both are related to Spanish cities. But yeah, they are a little bit more centralized, but they're challenging almost with the same problems as we do. And so I think it would be, for us, very helpful to have a more close relationship with the Consul companies out there. So we're thinking about giving labels to them. So Consul label, and they have to give back for this. Let's say money or code. Of course, they have to publish the code. That they have to do it now already. But that could be, I think, helpful. But there we have to, I think, discuss this also with the companies to find a way which is doable for all of us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I cannot give you a very concrete answer to that. Sorry.
Any other questions?
I just want to answer your question twice from my perspective for the city of Munich. First of all, of course, not as an OSPO member or open source people, but only for a customer. And when I started to say, okay, we want to sponsor the Consul Democracy Foundation, and I went to my official, to this Open Government department, that, okay, I want to sponsor Consul Democracy. I said, oh no, please don't do it. I said, why? We don't want to change. We are so happy with the existing stack. We just want to buy, and we are happy, and please don't change anything. I said, I don't want to change anything. But on that second way, I just want to be sure that you stay happy. And says, okay, in this case, if you don't change anything, this is quite, you can do the sponsoring. And I think for us, we have two views on this. First of all, we are a customer, and we just want an IT service. Open source or not, we just a working IT service. And we currently have a working IT service, and now it's in the cloud, and we are happy with this. But of course, as an open source guy in Munich, I have to be sure that in the long run, we don't come in this problem with the vendor dependency. So currently, we are very happy with this very decentralization organization with this loose ends, because it works. In the long run, we want to ensure that there's, what Simon said, there is small connections, and that there are connections between the Consul Democracy Foundation and all these small companies, to be sure to have a working ecosystem. Because the only thing we don't want as City of Munich, that in 5 years we are stuck and have a not working IT system. So to say, yes, currently it works fine, but on the long run it should have ties grow together.
Hi, you just said you were now using Consul in the cloud. Would that be an American cloud provider, or is it a German cloud provider? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, to be honest, I had to host it myself yesterday night because it changed and it didn't use it, but it's Hetzner. So they're quite German, and yes, they have already something in USA, but as you can see from my answer, I know where you want to go. It's very important, especially in the geopolitical days where we host our democracy. But again, as an IT service customer, I just want to have a working service. And as a customer, I don't care in which cloud. Of course, as an open source guy, I'm very happy that it's Hetzner. But I don't know if we had this in the procurement. But of course, you can say within cloud service, go to Hetzner, go to OVH, go to wherever you want. That's the advantage of a cloud service. That's the advantage of a free cloud service. You can run it everywhere. Or you can buy someone to run it anywhere. But short answer, it's Hetzner.
You tell us a lot of the internals, but how many projects the citizens vote for? Or what is the impact in the city of Munich to start your projects with these platforms? Or what's the democratic process is being? What you're doing in your city with these platforms?
Should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. In Munich, they had, let's say, a test phase for the last 2 years. And now they start with participatory budgeting with 1 million, which is, in compared to Madrid, maybe not the biggest amount of money, but for Germany, it would be the new record of that. So I think there was only one other municipality with 1 million budget. So that, I think, it's the first big project in Munich. And that would be also, I think, a milestone, hopefully, for citizen participation in Munich. But it depends a lot how successful it will be, how they try to involve the different organizations inside the city, I think. So that would be very, very important, and there's still a question mark, I think. But yeah, that would be a role model for sure. And in other cities, it's very different. It depends a lot on the different resources they have for inside the city for participation. For example, in Madrid, they still have 60 people working only for citizen participation. In Munich, it's now, I think we have 3 or 4. There are many municipalities in Germany, but not only in Germany, without anyone responsible for participation inside the city. And then you can imagine the success is not so big then. But with more or less good resources, you can expect, I think, a participation rate between 7 and 10%. And then it depends. In Madrid, for example, they have 500,000 people registered on the platform. They have some processes with more than 300,000 people. So it's possible to have a good impact.
And again, I want to answer this question also from my perspective. And as you could mention before, we just had to look at each other. Okay, who should answer this? Because I think you asked the city of Munich, and I'm the city of Munich, and he's not, but he's a consultant of the city of Munich. So it's a answer from a little bit from consulting for Consul Democracy. And I want to answer this. Okay, from our perspective, we are people just, hey, start a project, use a new tool, start on, and you have several projects in 2 weeks or something. We don't have so many projects currently because I think we are 5 years in the making, and so, and it's a little bit disappointing for our perspective, from our perspective as tech guys. But the very, very important thing is we are talking to a very big city with many, many participants, and you have to take them with you. And you can't just say, hey, you have a new tool, just do democracy, and it works everything online. You have to talk to every department. You have to talk to people. You have to talk. We have several parliaments. We have city boroughs parliaments, and everybody has to come with them because it's for the people. You just can't say, hey, cool tool, start in 1 week. I want 100 projects. It won't work. So we are in a process, and he's very slowly, but he's very, very useful, and it will work because everybody now is on the boat. And as Zion mentioned, it's political decisions are always bonded to money. Yeah, I can say I want to have a new bicycle line. This costs so much money, and with this citizen budget, I think there's a next big step to get this trust we already have into Unser München on the next level. And yes, we are currently in the phase of growing this democracy tool, tool for democracy.
Thank you.